Texas Podcast Massacre contains spoilers and adult language. For more horror, visit us at our website at texaspodcastmassacre.com.
Welcome to another episode of Texas Podcast Massacre, coming to you from Houston, Texas. I'm your host, Mitch, and with me, as always, is the Billy to my Mary Shaw, Nate.
First of all, I'm gonna take that as a compliment before I get to my quote. Because that actually is possible. My quote, is it was believed that the spirits of the dead would speak through the stomach region of the living. That's our history lesson for the day.
I was hoping you were gonna come at me with the now who's the dummy. You know, I thought that was lined up right there for you. Welcome to another episode of Texas Podcast Massacre, where each week we take a look at a different horror movie and debate a horror-related topic with our unsuspecting victim, who's usually not someone we would consider a horror fan. Look, this month is really going to be a lot of just Nate and I, because Nate, in most of these, I feel like you're the unsuspecting victim for the movies we have this month, because that's right, ladies and gentlemen, we have a specialty theme month, and this one is really a month of my choosing. You see, normally Nate gets to pick, but he's been
you're really pulling the strings.
Really pulling the strings. Agreed. Hopefully I'm not putting words in your mouth. As we celebrate our doll of fame. That's right. We are introducing a number of dolls into a horror hall of fame. And this week we're going to start with Dead Silence, which I've been trying to get us to watch for like the better part of 2 years. Almost as long as Puppet Master.
They're both finally happening, unfortunately.
Now this one, it's funny. I feel like, we'll get into it, but I feel like you've been resistant because you see James Wan and Lee Wanell and Doll, and you're like, I'm not doing anything related to Annabelle or even remotely similar. But this is pre-Annabelle. This is post-Saw, pre-Annabelle, pre-Waniverse.
That's why it's better.
We will discuss whether it is in fact
that's why
better, worse, or about the same. You may be surprised by our answer. But yeah, absolutely. Nate, I don't even know where to even go with this. So anything you want to say before we jump into just talking dolls?
Yeah, I wanted to say if you scare Jamie, I'll give you 7 minutes in heaven with my Barbie. That was my backup quote. But I would like to say, deep cut listeners of the episode will know that my wife's aunt is a massive doll person, having multiple rooms in her house specifically for dolls. So these movies aren't so bad by comparison. Like those movies are almost creepier. I'm wondering the closest. I've never seen Puppet Master other than the Lilith Reich, and I'm not going to count that. I'm wondering if any of the movies will even hit the levels of creepiness that this house is. So what I'm saying is I've been to the mountaintop. So like these other doll things are fine.
That's fair.
It's fine.
We'll see. We've got some.
There was a doll hospital with a bunch of doll parts in their basement, Mitch. Oh God. I didn't even think about that. This is like the worst of both worlds for you right here.
I've got so much to say. Look, before we do that, guys and dolls, let's get into this week's debate question.
Hearken to me, you two-legged dogs. drink the vision mead of knowledge. To learn what it is to live and die in honor. To be in battle slain and in death rewarded by the Valkyrie's embrace.
Oh man. All right. So look, so we're talking the doll of fame here. So I think we'll use this debate question to really talk about which doll from these movies is getting introduced into our horror doll of fame. Is that how you envision this working, Nate? Or
correct. With yeah. No, look, these are movies with puppets, dolls, ventriloquist dummies. You know, the whole gamut.
We don't discriminate. It's an inclusive doll of fame.
But before deep dummy Twitter comes after us, okay, they're a little bit different. All right, but we're lumping them together for this particular month.
All dolls look the same to Nate, is what I'm hearing.
All dolls go to heaven in this one. So there you go. But no, so you know, all of these movies, these are Mitch specials. So just at TX Podmaster, Texas Podcast Massacre, gmail.com. Just Mitch. Why? Mitch. So keep those coming. To be honest, you know, we've been getting a lot of messages with, Limp Bizkit, 2000, new metal stuff.
A lot of messages about Limp Bizkit. I'm starting to worry that Fred Durst.
If there's some sort of puppet Fred Durst crossover image,
Nate,
we will definitely post that.
Nate, I got a message on Facebook where someone sent me a number of Limp Bizkit memes, and mind you, they're funny memes. And then I like how we both have access to the account, but it was clearly for you. That's my favorite part. Yeah, you've been on record saying you don't like getting on Facebook, so that's where you for sure will find me.
It's hilarious.
However, at one point, this person sent a message that just and trust me, or he said, believe me, I'm not Fred Durst. And I feel like that's the thing Fred Durst would tell you.
That's exactly what Fred Durst would say.
Like, now I'm just more convinced that you're Fred Durst.
Because Fred Durst is like, he's on Twitch, right? Like, he's like streaming stuff or whatever. Mm-hmm. He's obviously directing probably in quotes.
I'm about to say,
I could not finish future episode, The Fanatic, with John Travolta. Could not finish it. Anyway, I feel like his like gamer tag would be not Fred Durst. So like, I don't think this is that far off. Like, I feel like maybe this is Fred Durst's cousin. Like, it's close. You know what I mean?
Sure.
I don't know. Fred Durst's cousin is really sending stuff, and keep it coming. Ideally, make a puppet theme.
Ted Durst is sending us. Regardless.
Ferd Durst.
Mr. Durst, feel free to keep sending us stuff. Oh my God. So anyway.
Well, no, and I got one more message actually.
Oh, sorry.
I wanted to go there. So
go ahead.
We got a message from Benji on the email, and I saved it for this. So get a couple good points here in an email. So we're starting the doll of fame, the puppet doll ventriloquist dummy. I don't know what else is included in that month. He pitched another month. Nate martial arts. Martial arts. And if you're including a Chuck Norris film, go Silent Rage. First of all, I've seen Silent Rage. I own Silent Rage.
Of course you do.
So yes. Secondly, I feel like we need to outsource these theme months, especially because this is the month that you came up with. So guys, if you want, and guys and dolls, if you want to pitch some theme months, go for it. Can't get any worse than having a Puppet Master movie in your theme. So
if I can I'm going to figure out a way to get a Puppet Master film into martial arts month. There's got to be one of the weird, like one of the retros. There's probably some fucking kung fu doll in one of them. There's got to be. There's a billion dolls, Nate. One of them doesn't know kung fu. Come on.
There is a puppet called Ninja. Oh God.
Yes. Oh, there it is.
Thank you for
doing my work for me.
So Benji, this was a terrible idea. I'm just kidding. That's great. Had another good point here. Of all the big name franchises, are there any that you'd say the majority of the films in the franchise are good? He says Evil Dead is a maybe for me. Because we were talking about all the sequels, right? All the sequels to all the movies.
Do you consider Evil Dead one of the like big ones? I mean,
there's
not that many of them. So
it has 4 movies, including a remake, a TV show, another TV show, and another movie. So I would say it's probably pretty close. Yeah.
I mean,
there's a universe in there.
Maybe. I'm not hating on Evil Dead. I think if you put all of those together in aggregate, there's probably more bad than good. Like,
how many movies do you need for a franchise? Is my first question.
Did they go to space? I feel like is one question.
Well, that's a lot. There's been no purge in space yet.
Oh, that's true.
So I irrationally like the Purge movies. So
I do.
I will say Purge.
I do too, but I will admit that they're like not
no
good.
One likes,
I just enjoy
no one
them.
likes. Exactly. No one liked First Purge. No one liked Forever Purge. I like both of them. Election Year, Anarchy. The first one is probably my least favorite somehow, which is not bad. You know, that's not, if that's the worst that you got going, then, but I fully acknowledge that I'm not, I'm in the minority on that one. I was thinking maybe Final Destination could round up to like more than half.
Final Destination is probably, because I mean, you know what you're getting in each of those. I mean, and you're really there for like the Rube Goldberg of death. So like
I would say first one, second one, third one, I was like, all right, I'm still okay with this.
Yeah.
And then after that, probably so not so much, but that's like 3 out of 5.
Would you put like the Land of the Dead, Dawn of the Dead, Night of the Living Dead?
There's too many bad ones at the end. The beginning is spectacular, but the dead one, like toward the end,
you're not adding Return. You're never adding the Return of the Living Dead series, right? That's separate.
No, correct.
Okay.
It's separate due to it's separate due to the legal stuff.
I mean,
you got to keep night. But there's like Diary, Land, Survival.
Scream is probably up there, I would think, of a franchise that had like, it's probably more good than bad. I mean, the third Scream is terrible, but I think the ones after that, I mean, TV show is okay. I don't really, I maybe caught an episode or two. I'd say Scream is probably a one. That,
and again, we're just going by the numbers of movies.
Yeah, I really like your pick of Final Destination. I think those are largely. I mean, I think what you would say about Final Destination, and maybe this is a good blueprint for longevity. The first one is not so far and away great that from like the next one, like the difference between the best and the worst Final Destination is not that big versus like the best Freddy versus the worst Freddy, or the best Leprechaun versus
exactly.
But
it was less movies. Like if the other ones had cut off at 5, well, Leprechaun was already gone. But if the other ones had cut off at 5, they might have had a chance. Yeah. They did not. But Scream's a good one too. I mean, in terms of like the best, obviously the Dead, Dawn of the Dead, Day of the Dead, Night of the Living Dead. And then the other 3 are bad, but those 3 are so incredible that, it's but in terms of sheer numbers, that's only 50-50, right?
Now,
for 6.
Of the doll franchises, which one is it and why is it Puppet Master? Well, you may not be able, you know what, Nate, I'm sorry, I put you on the spot. You're not able to adequately answer that till the end of the month.
We'll I'm waiting for which Chucky movie you're picking, and then we'll go from there.
Oh boy, you like the military. You like Chucky 3 for some reason.
I don't know. I haven't seen it in a while, so I have a feeling it's gonna age terribly.
Yeah, I'm sure.
But I haven't seen the last. I saw the remake, but I haven't seen the last 3 before that.
I irrationally like Bride of Chucky, so we all have our.
Okay,
our
we can do that. We can do that one. We can do that one.
Let me ask you this, Nate. This movie. There's a number of dolls in here, and you're wanting to nominate Billy as
the ringleader. Yeah, the ringleader.
I mean, my problem with Billy is that it's like dollar store Goosebumps doll.
Correct. That's absolutely true.
That is my only issue with.
Are we doing the Goosebumps movie?
Nice, we ought to. That dummy was terrifying as a child. Probably more terrifying than this dummy. I don't know, man. I mean, does Mary Shaw herself? She got turned into a doll when she, as part of her like last wishes. Which I'll just put that here. You know, as a mortician, I realize that you want to provide someone like their last rites and their last request.
If they're already dead,
she doesn't have any other family.
Over.
She doesn't have any family to check to make sure her wishes were honored. And I'm just gonna say maybe there's gotta be some extreme circumstance. Like I will go up to a point, but I'm not going to carve you into a doll. That's just kind of weird. I mean,
I'm a man of my word, and I am very scared of you, so I will do that. Seems to be the reasoning for that one.
Yeah. So, but does Mary Shaw herself count as a doll then? If she's been turned into?
But the thing is that Billy was the one playing her from the flashback scene. So that's why I nominate Billy.
And there's so many other dolls. What about the? I mean, this is a spoiler for a movie that's came out in 2007. What about if it's the boy doll that she made? Does he go into the Doll Hall of Fame? I mean,
no, not the Doll of Fame.
Doll of Fame. Sorry.
No, Billy's. Come on, it's Billy. No offense to anyone else, but this is the front man of the group here.
I feel like this is one of those one of those NFL Hall of Fame years where like there just weren't that many other like big names yet. Like next year we're trying to get.
That's all of the movies. All of the movies we're doing are going to be like this. This is the top of the class.
Because at least when we get to like. Okay, look, because when we
remember that one guy who was named like Old Kneecap Jones from like 1950 before the Super Bowl? Like that guy's like great, like grandkids like do a petition to like get him in.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Yeah. And so like from the Chicago Cardinals, that is what all of these puppets are to me. Like this, like all right, if we got nothing else, then
I don't know.
We'll nominate this.
All right. Well, that's where we're starting. Jesus. That's where we're going to start at today. All right. So look, if we've got a few more weeks of dolls and we're not going to necessarily tell you the movies we're going to do ahead this month. I mean, you know, Puppet Master, I do want to hear back from you. Who do we need to consider? Do we need to have I wonder if we need to have a fan vote, like the ESPYs or like the WWE Hall of Fame, right? Where it's like, okay, this is like who the fans wanted to see inducted this year, and then like the rest are just who we pick. So let us know.
So the Doll's Choice Award.
Oh Jesus, I love it. I don't like that I love it, but I love it, Nate.
Where the dolls decide.
God, you lost me. Right? I was with you, and then you just took it a step too far. Let us know at TX Podmaster on Twitter, Texas Podcast Massacre everywhere else, Texas Podcast Massacre at gmail.com. I mean, look, extra votes go to the people who give us a call at 346-246-3143. I want to hear an impassioned plea of why your favorite doll killer needs to go into the Doll of Fame. And then
request Gretel and Hansel again or Human Centipede. Either would work.
If for every person who requests Gretel and Hansel again, I will add another Puppet Master movie like immediately following the one we're gonna do. So they will just and we can do it for a while. So this is a threat that has legs.
This is the nuclear this is like the arms race here of the podcast. I don't know if I want that to happen then. Oh. So all right. Wow. That was escalation there.
Gotta nip this in the bud, Nate.
Damn. All right.
All right, with that said, look, we need to get into this week's movie of the week, Dead Silence.
Come softly, darling. Come softly, darling.
Jamie? Jamie?
an old ghost story around here about a woman named Mary Shaw.
The ventriloquist who lost her voice. Back when I was a boy, a little boy went missing.
There was only ever one suspect, Mary Shaw.
She was murdered.
The men cut out her tongue.
And this town has been plagued by death ever since. Families found without their tongues.
She was buried with her doll collection.
The children, as she called them.
Somebody dug them up. All 100 of them.
They came back. They didn't stay dead.
She's here.
Beware the stare of Mary Shaw. She had no children, only dolls.
Destroy the doll!
And if you see her, do not scream. Or she'll rip your tongue out at the seam.
Ripping your tongue out at the same. Nate, first off,
I feel like my tongue is different than these people. I feel like I have is would I be protected in this scenario? I don't have a tongue seam. Am I fine? Am I like immune like to the virus or whatever?
I think that's why they got rid of that rhyme in the actual film.
They did.
They did kind of change it.
Just saying.
Nate. Well, let me give you the synopsis. Ventriloquist gets embarrassed by a little boy. Kind of takes it real hard. Like, I don't know. I feel like was this at a time where people didn't actually know how this worked? Like, again, like in the olden days. But this, I mean, I feel like you got to know, like, some people are going to just be jerks and call, like, anyway, it takes it a little hard.
I feel like heckling used to be way worse than it was now. I don't know what this lady was expecting. A little bit of heckling here and there, I would think, it's
I mean, fine. Yeah, this can't have been her first time. In any case, loses her voice. And then becomes a vengeful spirit and decides to make people scream, to take their tongues, their voices.
So I feel like this whole movie could be solved by North Korea in World War C. Just take out your vocal cords.
God damn. Yeah. I mean, there's that. Yeah, I don't know. Like,
solved it. All right, episode's over. Thanks, guys. This is the end and beginning of Doll Month. Oh, sorry. What?
Well, I'm just right. Like, what constitutes a scream? Because at one point, one character is like yelling loudly. Is that not scream? Like, I mean, does it have to be?
Yeah. What's the difference between a yell and a scream?
Like,
oh, wow.
Okay,
you just opened Pandora's box. I have no clue now.
I know we're jumping way ahead into my one of my issues with this movie, but like, okay, it's like. When there's a difference between like a scream and like there's when a cockroach flies at you and you're like, like that's a scream, but like is that gonna do it? What if you're in her vicinity? And I feel like the guys on Gremlins 2 that are like going back and forth about trying to figure out the rules. What about like if you're in for her vicinity and you scream about something else? Like she didn't make you scream, but something else did. Does she get to claim that as a win? I feel like that's cheating.
I don't know that. Yeah. Like, oh man. Yeah. Can you get like a scream assist?
Yeah. Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like it's like
this isn't a team sport. This is very much individual accomplishment.
Mitch, are you telling me a movie's dead silence so that has a sentient doll killing people is not, the rules don't make sense? Is that what you're trying to tell me?
If you're going to establish rules, you need to follow them and they need to make sense. That's all I'm saying. Nate,
okay. Damn.
What can you tell us? First off, did you watch the unrated version of this movie or the?
I watched the normal version. What was the difference?
Ooh, we'll get into it.
What was the difference?
I'll tell. Not as much as you might think.
Well, all right.
Some cooler stuff.
Less excited.
Well, no, some cooler stuff. I don't want to undersell it, but you didn't miss like a whole. Anyway, was this your first time watching this movie, Nate?
I watched it right when it came out, and this is the first time since then.
Okay.
So I did not remember basically the majority of the story.
Did you remember the twist at least?
No, I did not remember the twist.
I
usually remember everything.
So
forever.
Let me
I don't know what's going on.
Before Nate gets into his details, yeah, let me say, if you haven't watched this movie yet, this does have a pretty good like ending twist. We'll talk about how the rest of it stacks up, but I would absolutely go watch this movie, come back, because once it's ruined, like once you know what sort of happens at the once the reveal is done, it's kind of like, I mean, again, this is James Wan and Lee Wandell, right? There's a twist or something that's going to happen. You can't put that genie back in the bottle. So go watch it now, come back. We'll be here. I'll get for the rest of us that are waiting, I'll give you all a topic. The Holy Roman Empire was neither a holy nor Roman nor an empire. Discuss. Dude. We're gonna wait. We're just gonna wait for them to watch the movie. It won't take them long.
Okay. Damn.
So fantasy draft, huh? Yeah, it's good. Oh, and we're back. All right. Hey. Okay. Cool. So thanks for watching. I'm glad you came back. Crazy twist.
Speaking of horror movies, so my fantasy draft now.
All right. So anyway, Nate, what can you tell us about this movie?
Dead Silence came out 2007. This is so in terms of the Wan, discography of filmography of James Wan, right? So you have
the
Wanography, if you will. So you have Saw, right? The short film. Next year you get Saw. This is the second film, right? So this is Dead Silence is the second film.
Mm-hmm.
Clearly Saw movies had dolls in it, right? So you got dolls. Then he did Death Sentence, which is really more of a crime movie. Kevin Bacon, John Goodman. More of a crime movie. It's fine. It's not bad from what I recall. Then so it's two movies that were okay. Dead Silence in the box office, 20 million budget, 22 million box office. So it was basically a flop. Death Sentence didn't do super great either. Then it was Insidious, Conjuring, Insidious 2, Furious 7, Conjuring 2, Aquaman, Malignant, another Aquaman. So there you go.
And we have
basically this was like the lull. This is the start of like the lull, and then into the stratosphere with the other films. So this one is like a rough. This is like a rough like movie, a little bit of like a bump almost, but it's got definitely some personality, and you could tell James Wan is just has a thing for dolls. I mean, clearly. There's some doll.
Do you think he just thinks dolls are creepy, or do dolls legitimately scare him, and so he's sharing that terror with the world? Like, what do you think?
These are great questions.
Let's psychoanalyze this film.
I mean, what does the backward face mean in backward face thing mean in Malignant? I have no clue.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Anyway, so he likes dolls, or it could be Lee Wandell, who's the doll fan. Lee Wandell wrote this film.
Wrote the script.
Obviously, he wrote the script also. Obviously, in tight with James Wan. He wrote he wrote Saw. He acted in Saw. He wrote a variety of the Saw movies. He wrote the screenplay and story for Dead Silence. He did Insidious. He ended up directing an Insidious film later on. Obviously, he did Invisible Man. He's doing an Upgrade TV show, Mitch. Just want to let you know, Upgrade is having a TV series.
What is Upgrade? Why am I blanking on this?
Upgrade.
Wait, okay, you said that. You've told me nothing except yell upgrade, which I'm pretty positive was from. No,
it's from the Upgrade episode 2018.
Oh, that upgrade.
I told you I didn't have to say anything else.
Sorry.
Anyway, that upgrade is getting a TV series, and he's one of the creators. So there you go.
Oh, there you go.
There's also an Insidious 5. So
just drop that in there. And
so I'm going, just moving it up to upgrade, upgrading to upgrade. So anyway, yeah. So, Lee Wanell, James Wan. This was early. I think most people would say it's a stumble. But yeah, I think it's got some good qualities. We got acting wise, we got some Donnie Wahlberg in the mix here. Donnie. I know that's your boy from Blue Bloods. Your favorite kids show? Blue Bloods? You watch it? Your kids watch it? Who's
no one watches it.
Are you sure? It's been on like 75 years.
Look,
are you sure?
No,
are you sure?
I'm positive.
Okay, well,
I
there's that.
I don't catch it between reruns of Days of Our Lives.
So I basically, I was trying to walk you in this reference, but you didn't take it. So anyway, Donnie Wahlberg was in New Kids on the Block.
Before my time, Nate.
Me too. We're the same age.
I don't know. Are we?
Yes,
I'm questioning now based on how much you really wanted me to get in that New Kids on the Block.
Yeah, as kids, I threw it out. He's in Saw 4, so he was in Saw 4. Saw 4 came out the same year as this, so basically, Dead Silent Saw 4, the Wan action is happening. He was in Saw 3 as well.
To Wan Fu,
and in Saw 2. So I mean, I was like, wait, he goes back to 2? Yes. So he's in a bunch of Saw movies. They threw him a bone for this movie, and then he was also in Sixth Sense, which I'd forgotten about actually. So there you go. And he was in a variety of New Kids on the Block music videos from the late 80s and early 90s. So there's that. In terms of acting, that's most of it. You also got Bob Gunton, who's my boy. Never forget, Bob Gunton is the warden from Shawshank Redemption. He was also in one of my favorite movies. Sorry, used to be one of my favorite movies. Steven Seagal's Glimmer Man. Never forget, he was in that film. That's the first thing I think of every time. Not anymore. At one point it was. He was in Demolition Man as well as the chief from that. I'm sure you remember that one.
I do remember that.
Thank you.
Fantastic.
This guy, 90s bad guy character actor, nailing it all throughout the 90s, basically. Oh, Patch Adams as the dean, who sucks. Remember that? No. He was in Bats. Did I see Bats in the movie theater? Of course I did. So there you go. Hey, Dina Meyer was in it from Starship Troopers. So wasn't all bad.
You don't have to. You don't have to defend yourself to me, Nate. You don't have to.
Okay, well, and then okay, I'm done. I'm done with that. Let's delete that. And then he's still in stuff. He's still hanging around.
That's great.
Yeah, he's still there. So he's in a documentary for the Gettysburg Address, which is pretty great since considering he was there. So I got a first person view on that. It's awesome.
Jesus.
Born in 1945, he's an old guy. In terms of acting, I don't really care about anyone else. The character of Jamie in this one was Ryan Quanten. Do you remember Ryan Quanten from anything else?
He was Sookie's brother in True Blood.
That's it. That's it. Nailed it. You did it. That's it. There's it's minimal other than that. So he was in Northman, a Viking saga from 2014. No relation. You got excited.
I was in there like
you got excited. Wait, where was he one of the dudes? Like, was he one of the rip dudes? The could have been that, right? No, he wasn't in a ton after that. But yeah, he was in True Blood, so that's good. And then I would say that the second person obviously is Ella Ashen, his stepmother in the film, Amber Valletta. She was in Mitch's favorite movie, Gamer. I know you're a big Gamer fan.
I did enjoy Gamer. A lot of Michael C. Hall dancing.
I know you did. I know you liked it. She was in this. She was in Transporter 2. And her first film was a horror film, What Lies Beneath, which is one of my least favorite movies of all time.
I'm sorry. Please put some respect on her greatest role, which was in Hitch.
Yeah, I skipped that one. So
don't deprive the people, Nate. I mean, Hitch is
sorry.
Just because the Hitch didn't make the Naterian collection.
Fine. All right. Well, then if we're going to that level, she was in Fergie's music video for MILF $, MILF dollar. So there you go.
Is it MILF dollar or MILF money? What?
I don't know. Does it matter? Okay. Are you really interested in knowing?
Mildly.
No. So anyway, yeah, that's that. No.
Nate, you never give me the information I want to know. I'm going to start screening these notes beforehand. There's some critical information I would like to know about before we get into this.
Tagline: You scream, you die.
Dumb.
So that's good.
No,
that's good.
No, it's not.
It's basic. It's very basic. It's accurate. And then I don't really care about the rest of this. So. But and then I guess one thing that's a nice crossover is that the doll in Saw is named Billy, while this doll is named Billy also. But this is like the cousin Billy.
Is it really a nice crossover, or can we just not come up with another name for a doll?
Also, that could also have been it.
Like I feel like they're like, just call it Billy. No one's gonna care. No one knows. It's fine.
Yeah.
Some nerd will be reading this on his podcast. Someone.
All right. There were plans for a sequel. There were plans for a sequel on this one.
Okay.
And it obviously did not happen.
Nope.
But it was in the works for a bit. I don't know. It must have been before the movie came out because not great. In terms of the box office, I can't.
Well, yeah, I gotta assume
wanting to give money to this after just Saw and then dead silent. Like, okay, you gotta do other stuff, or else, like, come on, what are we even doing here? So, who knows? Maybe we'll see. Maybe we'll see a Billy crossover. I haven't seen all the Wandaverse movies. Maybe Billy will be in the Nun 2. Who knows? Nothing would surprise me at this point. They're all connected. So, could be a fun one. What about Nun dolls? Oh boy!
No, I'm good. I'm good on that one.
You're good on that one. You want none of that. All right. So thoughts on this one, Mitch? You're clearly slightly negative on it. What's going on?
I don't want to say that I'm like fully negative on it. It's one of those movies that's real kind of dumb for a number of reasons that we'll get into. There's just terrible decisions. Some of the worst detective work I've ever seen in my life. And we've seen we've seen a lot of incompetence in our line of work.
Oh yeah. This is Donnie is better in Saw, I guess. I would say he's better in Saw.
And be worse.
This is some Amityville horror level copping here. It's bad. It's
poor to very poor. But really, again, we kind of mentioned it before. The ending and where this goes is really where they make their money. I think part of what I didn't like about this too is this movie from a special like an effects perspective, not as good. Like these, I don't know. These look like the makeup for when they get their tongues ripped out looked real bad. And I feel like this came out around like very similar time to like The Grudge, where you had the one girl have her whole jaw missing. So I don't know what's going on with the look of when they get killed. It really was bad, especially even now rewatching it.
Yeah, the budget for the Grudge US remake was $10 million a couple of years before.
Yeah.
So that's even more embarrassing.
Yeah.
Okay.
It just rough. Now, what I will say is I did watch the unrated version of this, and so some key things to note here. When you see Mary Shaw, you actually see she has this like really creepy, like long, like venom tongue that like snakes out, and so you actually see her like rip tongues out with it, like eating like one of the guy's tongues at one point. And I guess it's like combining, like, I think it's like this tongue is like a symbiote of all the tongues she's stolen. And that's how she had, because she's like, I have your voice now or whatever.
Is this movie Venom? What's happening? What are you describing right now?
Yeah, it's a little bit more gruesome in that regard. But again, we kind of mentioned it. What are the rules around screaming around her? Like, he's just yelling, shooting at the dolls at one. The cop, Donnie Wahlberg, is just yelling. Is that not screaming? Or I mean, how?
Yeah, what's the difference between yelling and screaming?
Yeah.
Call in on this.
Like, I don't know. Is it specifically if you said like ah? Because what if you went ooh like that when someone jumped at you? You know, like, does that scream? Is that just another noise? Like, you know,
is it like is real monsters? Like, it has to be that level. Yeah.
Like, what if what if someone just jumps at you? You go mother, and you just like cuss right at him. Is that screaming? I don't know.
I would say no. I would say that's not screaming.
And I mean, we'll get to it, but like, if you know that's the thing and you've successfully avoided screaming for like the bulk of the film, to sort of give it up near the end is kind of dumb. Like, I got a whole problem with I've gained a new thing or the reveal, but let me take a pause because I'm trying to jump way too ahead. Nate, you didn't remember anything about this film.
Barely.
Your subconscious.
I remember the end. I remember the end as I saw it, but I did not remember it until I saw it. So yeah, nice. I came in mostly blind.
So talk me through your experience and what did you think about this one? Because I mean, I picked these doll movies, so I should be more up on them. You thought it was fine?
Yeah, that was fun. It was fun. I mean, Lee Wanell had a post, had a blog post that said that was called "Dud Silence: The Hellish Experience of Making a Bad Horror Film." You know, I don't think it was that bad.
I think
I could tell the writing was really choppy. I mean, I could tell that for sure. If you're looking for some great storying, if you're looking for storying, this has that. Unfortunately, that's not a coherent story. So yeah, it's not the best in terms of the story, but I would say the dolls are creepy. Mm-hmm. Some of the kills are pretty gruesome. And then the dolling of people, I'm making up a lot of verbs here, but
sure.
People becoming dolls, it works for me. It's creepy. Oh. I get it.
I'm with you there. I give you that one.
Yeah. I mean, it's creepy. So, yeah.
I mean, let's talk about the opening, right? So, first off, real dumb decision here. Hey, if you get a package that just has your name on it and you don't know what it is,
never
don't open it.
Never.
It's look, this is post Unabomber, I get, but like,
yeah.
This is not post Anthrax, I think, right? Like, in this around that saying, like, we're not too far away from that. Maybe just don't do that. And then, it's a creepy ass doll. I've never asked for a creepy ass doll. No one I know has a creepy ass doll. Yeah. The dude remembers there's a creepy story from his hometown about a woman with a creepy ass ventriloquist doll. Maybe you don't leave that shit in the house.
Yeah. Well, and then speaking of horror film franchises where the majority of the movies are great, we already learned this 2 years earlier with Ginger Dead Man.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, hey, someone just sent me some random gingerbread mix. Let me just go make this and sell it in my business. What? No,
stop doing that.
No, chain. You got to be a chain of custody.
No one in life is going to look. This is gonna. I'm gonna get real bitter and cynical here. No one in this world is gonna do something nice for you without without like letting you know that they did it, or without you being able to know who did. Like, Nate, no one's gonna just send you a doll out of the blue. Well, someone might because they listen to this podcast and know now you don't like dolls. But I'm just saying, like, why is this even in your house? No, you don't need to keep it. That doll's creepy as fuck. Just get it out. Like, this movie could have ended in 5 minutes. Hey, what the fuck is this thing? Let me go throw it in the landfill. Done. Right?
Landfill. Not even the garbage. You're going all the way to the landfill.
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah.
Right. Well, as we learned, burying it didn't work, so I can't imagine the landfill is going to do a whole lot extra for you.
That's fair. I mean, I don't think you would immediately attempt to burn it, but like if the thing shows back up at your doorstep, then you burn it, right? But anyway, now he goes out to get dinner, and his wife just gets like just straight murdered.
Oh yeah, like just absolutely ganked.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's creepy because the doll, there's some creepiness here because the doll then can use your voice after you're dead. So that's pretty good. Like, all right, I'm okay with that. Like, that's solid.
And sorry, we need to talk about this point. The opening of this sounds fake as hell, doesn't it? Like, oh, it's from Ventriloquist, it's from Latin, from the belly, and it had these like dark. That's
why I said that, because it's like so hilarious. I loved it.
But I looked it up, and apparently it is actually a legitimate thing.
Oh, it's absolutely accurate for sure.
But it sounds made like it sounds like it's a made up premise. Like, no, it wasn't. Stop that. Like, if I told you that, or someone told you that, just in you're hanging out, you're at a happy hour getting some beers, and like a weird coworker. I guess we're probably our circles.
Yeah,
weird coworkers.
I feel like you're talking specifically about me. So that's an interesting way to go.
So like if you were trying to tell yourself, no, it was such a weird thing. I had to go look it up, but yeah, that's all right. So you learn a little something. That's about as much as your brain's gonna work.
That's good. See, this is a great one. This is a great film. But yeah, I mean, I would say the story is kind of whatever. I mean, it's a classic story, evil woman, children, it's pretty much what every movie ever. Darkness Falls, Mama. I mean, there's just a million I can think of off the top of my head. So yeah, I mean, The Witch, any sort of witch, anything.
Yeah, you heard it here. Nate thinks women are evil, so we'll just.
Well, there's a lot of movies about it. I mean, are the movies wrong? No, just kidding. But no, but yeah, it's, the story is nothing to write home about. It's really about the tension with the dolls. James Wan, I feel like the tension here wasn't as like slick or optimized as the stuff that came later with the Insidious and with the Conjuring. And I like that better because it was a little more rough. It was a little more, this could go any direction, and than the later stuff. So that's part of the reason I did enjoy it, to be fair.
I do think, and maybe that's just more of a symptom of like the James Wan stuff. I don't know how much Leigh Whannell really contributes to this part of it, but James Wan, I think at this point we can safely say, I mean, with a James Wan film, you're going to get a really cool, great looking villain, like great looking, like creepy character. But
yes,
in terms of like fleshing out the story around it and really like taking it to the next level, you're not. It's really all surface level visuals. Annabelle looks great. The movies are terrible. The Nun looks great. Terrible movies. Conjuring, I mean, there's no real creepy thing in The Conjuring that I recall. Even La Llorona
there was the Nun. There was the Nun in the
second. Well, there was in Conjuring 2, and they got the spinoff, right? But even like the Crooked Man, right? It looked great. This looks great. Saw, like the Jigsaw puppet, looks great. That's probably the only time there's really been enough built up around it that it worked out real well. This just Mary Shaw is a great like ghost character. When's the last time you've had a ghost character really be creepy? Because it's not just the doll. I mean, Mary Shaw as a ghost is very like present through this whole movie.
Yeah.
And just very, very effective. Really great makeup. The eyes are really creepy. I feel bad because I know Leigh Whannell had mentioned that the studios were getting involved too much, and so maybe it would have been nice had he been able to write a script more closer to what he wanted versus, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're right. I mean, I think it's hey, could have been worse.
Yeah. Yeah. So let's talk about some scenes that stood out to you, Nate. What did you really take away from this one? That if you stayed with.
I mean, let's just say what it is at the end. There's a doll fortress.
Mm-hmm.
There's this essentially a doll fortress.
They took way too long
with a fucking moat.
Yeah,
you have to take a boat to get there.
Yeah, took way too long.
It's a doll castle. It's a doll castle. It's incredible.
Look, took way too long to set that show on fire. First off, and also
they could have turned it into a little bit of a haunted house for a little bit longer of the film. I would have liked that.
Yeah,
you're right. I would have liked that a lot better.
That'd have been good. A little more of it. Yeah. I just see like Mary Shaw made the classic blunder. She didn't learn from Voldemort. You got to hide your Horcruxes and the things you're possessing in a lot more places than like bringing them all together was just asking to have them all get burned in front of you. It just terrible. Terrible planning. You know, like unbury half of them. You don't need all 100 with you. Like
she likes them. They're all they're her kids. They're her kids because she couldn't have kids.
But 100, they're not all her favorite. Let's just when you have 100, look, you have like, okay, look, parents out there listening, like all of our children are precious, but you get like 2 or 3 in there about it. You have more than that. Like there's some that you're just like you're kind of ranking right. After,
what's your name? What's your name again?
Yeah, once you get to like 100, like. You physically can't hang out with all 100 dolls equally, right? You're like.
It seems like it'd take a while, but you can go from zero to 100 real quick.
Gee.
There you go. You're welcome.
I couldn't find that drop fast enough.
You could not. You could not quick enough. See, that's what I'm saying.
Damn. All right. So anyway, that setting's cool. That setting was very cool.
Yeah, that was fantastic. That's a highlight. I will say this. Normally, what happens with most horror films, even ones like this, is like the premise is good and the execution is bad, and then the ending is a letdown. For this one, the beginning was intriguing. The middle was kind of boring, sucky-ish, technical terms. And then the ending was actually solid.
Ending's real good.
So it's a little bit different construction than your normal like movie, normal horror movie that does like, all right, it's a different construction than it usually is, which I appreciated because, I guess that's a little bit different too, because you end on a higher note than you would have thought.
Yeah.
So I do like that part of it. That part of it was definitely, that part was good. So yeah. So I don't know. Overall, pretty solid. I think the when Mary Shaw became the doll, when the older guy is recollecting on his dad, embalming and getting her ready for her grave.
That's probably
go into this part, Mitch, because you clearly have some thoughts on it. I'm interested to hear your take on.
Well, like I said,
why this occurred, and did it impact the curse at all, or was it just the curse is already there because the doll was talking in that flashback where it threatened that kid, and then that kid ended up murdered?
Yeah, I mean, I think the curse is already there. I mean,
okay, so that didn't impact making her a doll. Didn't impact.
But here's what I don't understand. I mean, again, this is. There's so much in here, like fundamentally, that's so great from a writing perspective. But then there's also so much that's like terrible. When did she have time to like? Was it always the plan that she wanted to be turned into a doll? Because like she got murdered for being believed to have kidnapped this kid, which I mean she definitely did clearly. So this
is a real like Freddy Krueger is like, yep.
Right.
We got the right person. It didn't help us at all, but we got the right person.
Yeah. So I mean,
that part of it we were correct.
I guess you're doubly screwed because you took it into your own hands, but you were correct. So there's that at least silver lining. But was this always her plan of like, hey, make me into a doll if you're a mortician, how do you even go about that? Like, what does that mean? Like, does she leave instructions? Like, here's how I want you to do this. I mean, this mortician, I don't know how much he got paid for it. But above and beyond, not enough. Also, his child is scarred forever, but that was genuinely probably the creepiest scene in this movie, I would say. Even more so than like the son when he's older, like scrambling around in the crawl space. basement. But
no, it was definitely a crawl space. Thank you. It's on my notes. It's a crawl space.
I mean, look, just like how we lump marionettes and ventriloquist dummies and all that as dolls, God, I'm lumping all this as, oh, look at that. Look at using your own logic against you.
Yeah, that's harsh.
Yeah. Yeah, I just real bizarre. Like, again, who's checking to see that you did this? I mean, I'm okay with, like, if this is a weird request, I'm okay with you. Like, let's forget the ethics of like not honoring someone's final wishes. This is a real messed up final wish, right? Like, Nate, I joked that my final wish is for my remains to be spread across the country, but I don't want to be cremated. And I don't expect anyone to follow through with that. You know what I mean? Like,
I had forgotten that. I had forgotten that briefly, and I now remember.
Yeah, like, I mean, a hand goes up to Portland, you know, an eyeball to here, you know, like, it's just it's real dumb.
That's great. That's great. No, don't walk that back. That's
okay. I appreciate that. Thank you for your
yeah, that's I don't know. I don't know what it's.
So let's get into the twist here. So the whole reason why she's cursed this one particular family that she's taken this long to kill,
a twist.
Is that sorry, you know, again, if you really don't want to get spoiled here,
we've already spoiled it.
Witch.
I mean, yeah. So she's taking revenge on the people that like cut out her tongue and made her scream, which is fine. You know, that's as good of a reason to do what she's doing. You know, in terms of like why she's making them scream to take their tongues because she's a ventriloquist. Like, I like that they gave it a little bit more than like, oh, she's a ventriloquist, right? Like, oh no, it's because they took out her tongue, and so she's like, oh, I'm just gonna do it to you now. She's going up to the family that basically murdered her, and she's gonna make sure that the line ends. So that's why she kills the wife, because she was pregnant, which that got kind of dark. Like,
Yep. Does the fetus die? Yes. It's on there on this one. Yeah, we got a nice mixture during Maximum Overdrive, and the streak continues into Doll Fame month. Yeah, it's something. It's something, Mitch. But no, there's like the twist is okay. So he's got a stepmom. The stepmom is playing the dad. I mean, this is like what is it? Month at Bernie's? I mean, how long has this been happening for?
For a while.
It's been happening for a while. So the dad, she's playing him like a ventriloquist dummy, has hollowed out the back of him so she can move his mouth. Clearly, in the acting that happened, there's no way this is possible. He's clearly moving his mouth super well, but incredible twist regardless, that she is literally moving a stick from his carved out backside on this
even has the feeding tube in the tray.
Yeah, and a fake feeding tube. It's like it's a vampire or something. Like it's a fake eat or whatever. It's incredible.
So there's a couple of things that are really clever about this twist. Like, one, at the beginning, you have this whole thing where it's like showing her like making a doll, and she's making Billy, and you see these things about like the perfect doll and all that kind of stuff. And so you're set up thinking, oh yeah, we're talking about her making Billy, and because Billy's such an important doll in this movie, so you never even have cause to question it. And then like on a rewatch, Nate, I mean, yeah, her positioning, like where she's behind him, you really don't see her lips moving all that much, which I mean, because obviously, but even like the telephone call. I mean, can I remember that being her? But it was still like, oh man, that's so good. It's such a good twist. Here's my only problem, Nate. My only problem, not with the twist itself. My problem is with Jamie, in that he is just the dumbest person in this whole world. Nate,
yeah, because usually, I'll say this real fast. Usually, someone knows what's happening and is smart. The cops are incompetent. They're dumb. Everyone else telling you no, blah blah blah. Right. So in this movie, everyone kind of knows what it is already in this town. Right. Mm-hmm. Even the guy kind of knows it. He just goes right to his town like, hey, this thing killed my wife. Right. Mm-hmm. the cop is terrible and the main guy is terrible. The smart one is the stepmom, who is the physical manifestation of Mary Shaw. That is very different also. Mm-hmm. It's like everyone is dumb except the villain, who is a ghost. And I'm not sure. Can you explain to me how this ghost became this person? Is there some sort of...
What do you mean?
Like, how did the ghost become this person?
How'd the ghost become this person?
Yeah.
Well, she's possessing like she's living in all the dolls. This is a doll.
But it's a person.
No,
right?
no. The whole point is that she's created the perfect doll, which was that woman.
Oh, did I miss that?
Yes, she's a doll being possessed by Mary Shaw.
Well, this is even better than I thought. Then.
Yeah. Okay. Now here's where it gets dumb, Nate. This is my problem.
How did I miss that? All right. Well, well played.
Here is my. Apparently, there's a deleted scene where they kind of go into a little bit more. It wasn't in the unrated cut. I think I read about it. But here's my only problem with Jamie. He finds the only one. He finds my biggest one with this twist. The twist is great, but at the end of it, he screams. And he's, and of course
he knows it. The whole movie, he's been knowing it. That's the whole point.
And he stopped it this whole time. Like now he's just gonna kind of give it up at the end, which I don't know. Maybe fine. Maybe you're just like, screw it. This thing's gonna haunt me forever anyway. I don't know. I would have just set the lady on fire, I guess, but whatever. My problem is he finds the notebook of Mary Shaw, right? And he's thumbing through it, and he finds a little tab that says the perfect doll, and it kind of. It's like attached to the thing, like where you could like a pop-up book or like a flip book, And then we don't see it. And then when they show it later, they show it turning it over, and it's like a picture perfect drawing of his stepmom's face. So at no point does he the insinuation has to be he must have had to flip it. He had to have, and he should have seen the stepmom's face, and he doesn't question hey, why is my stepmom's face in here?
Oh yeah.
What does that mean? Oh, why is Mary Shaw drawing that? Maybe I should be a little worried about my stepmom. No, he's just like, let's just go head home and figure out what the hell's going on here now. Like, real, and then he has the audacity to scream about it, like he didn't know. Like it got me. That part got me heated. I didn't catch that the first time I watched it because I was just so blown away by the twist. The second time around, I'm like, that is the dumbest way to reveal this. I wish they did not add that scene. Cut that scene from this movie's stat.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Oh my!
I don't know.
So dumbest.
You win.
These are the dumbest people love. I'm amazed it took this long to wipe out the family line. Is all I'm saying.
This could have been a lot quicker. Is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay. Fair. Wow.
But
that's a good point. I can't know how I missed that, but that's you basically that's I mean that's so dumb.
Yeah.
Oh, but come on. I was trending up on the movie. And now,
sorry,
you turned it a little bit.
It's funny. I really expected this to be the highlight of the week of the month. And I'm over here just dogging it. I've been a fan, but I remember the twist being so good. That's probably what I'll end up remembering from this. Nate, anything else about this movie you want to talk about?
No, we went through way more than we probably should have already. So yeah.
Final cut.
I mean, let's get into it. I'll kick it off. I put us through this. This is
it wasn't bad.
It wasn't bad. For my issues, the problem is certainly there's issues with the writing, and to hear Lee Whannell talk about it is clearly studio interference. Which is clearly, I mean, colored how he even operates. Like he's gone on very.
They came in with a script, the script doctor, to come fix it up. So you're getting it chopped and screwed, but not Houston style, a way worse style.
Yes, agreed. So I mean, look, this twist is phenomenal. The character, Mary Shaw, is great. That's the only character that's great. I'll give the stepmom too. She is great in this as well.
She's good. She's fantastic, actually.
Sometimes you see twists and they do come out of left field. Like this is a out of left field kind of twist. And sometimes they're like, when they're that out of left field, you're almost like, what? Like, but this one, they did a good job planting the seeds. It feels very earned. She is very good in these last moments and the reveal. There's a lot to really like about this film, and I think it has gotten a little bit more of a cult following to it. But man, yeah, you said it right. The middle of this movie is real, just slow and kind of dumb.
Blurred.
Yeah.
I mean, if I got to watch Donnie Wahlberg just be a terrible cop for so long. Why does it keep happening?
I'm going to give this, I think, 5 out of 10 Gene Simmonses. A little tongue action there. So, I feel like, don't know why I feel like I need to explain it right after I did it. Everyone knew it, but
sometimes it's I'm glad that we're not doing the video some of the time. So that was nice to be a part of that. Pretty pleased with that. Okay, so 5 out of 10.
I'll text it to you later.
Okay, well, thank you. I don't.
Yes.
It's gonna be the first thing on Mitch's. Mitch has gone from Twitch to OnlyFans, so now it's
no.
That's
Mitch the Witch at OnlyFans.
Yeah.
Nate, what do you give this one?
Yeah, so I think this one. Yeah, this one's tough. It's got some parts are good. The end is good. So the end reminded me a little bit of Hausu.
Mm-hmm.
The twist reminded me a little bit of Malignant. It was almost a like straight up Malignant type move. Kind of similar there too. And the Malignant, well, we weren't the biggest fans of it, but it was the twist was great. Pretty solid. I can't hate it, but it's just not good. Like good. So I'm also going to give it a 5. I was a little bit higher. I was in the 6 territory, and then it dropped down because there's some pretty gaping holes. So I'm going to go with a 5 also. But
gaping holes like these people's mouths when the tongue gets ripped out.
Yeah, people becoming dolls is creepy though.
Yeah,
I mean, I feel like that's universally
the yearbook at the end. Sorry, let's also mention that yearbook collage thing at the end was pretty fantastic.
Oh, I'm going up to a 6.
There you go.
I'm back up. I was teetering. It's creepy. The middle, I would almost say just fast forward through some of the middle, and then you're really getting. You really don't need
You're right. They have figured this out like already. Like you're not. There's no mystery here that you're trying to solve.
You basically know what and who the killer is, like almost instantly. It's very early in the film, so it's less of a. It's like
it's not a whodunit. It's a why
it's Harry Potter. It's a Harry Potter. They're like just trying to find shit to stop it. They've known who it is basically the whole time. So anyway, that's I think this is my second favorite James Wan movie. So
wow. I don't quite know
that he directed.
Okay. Yeah, I was about to say, I don't know.
Saw's number 1. Dead Silence is probably tied for second, maybe with Insidious. I don't really care for.
I can't put this over. I can't put this over Insidious. I'd probably say third. Yeah.
This is either second or tied for second for me. Because it's just it's rougher, but it's clearly something he's passionate about. The dolls, and the dolls are just so creepy. Like if this movie could have been a little bit better, and the writing have been not as much of a mishmash of rewritten stuff from Lee Wanell, it could have been like good, but it was just middling enough where it in the middle. Especially that it didn't make a whole lot of sense. So yeah, I still a 6 for me. Dolls are creepy. Look, we got a whole month. We got a whole month of dolls coming. Puppet Master's coming, unfortunately.
Yeah, it is.
Mitch still has to pick between a couple movies here to see what the third slot will be.
I have to get on it. Yeah, I've got too many options. I've got a bevy of options here. Really,
you do. There's a bunch,
a Mary Shaw's choice of dolls here, doll movies to choose from. Nate, where can they find us?
yeah, you can find us and. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe at the end of the month we need to do like some sort of like Photoshop picture of like our Doll of Fame, like the inaugural inductee class of the Doll of Fame.
I kind of like that a lot.
I think that probably needs to happen. So Jesus Christ. You're welcome. Yeah, you can find us as always at TX.Massacre on Twitter, Texas Podcast Massacre everywhere else. Keep sending some sort of Fred Durst puppet crossover to Mitch on Facebook. Send us stuff, Texas Podcast Massacre at gmail.com. Like Benji did to get us to talk about how Final Destination is a better franchise than the Night of the Living Dead series. So there's some great takes that you'll get if you interact with us. Give us a call, 346-246-3143. Leave us a voicemail. If you leave us a voicemail, your requested movie will get on the list no matter what it is. No matter what.
No, that's not accurate.
No matter what.
Not accurate.
Cannibal Holocaust.
The enthusiasm.
Cannibal Holocaust. We usually we don't do the first movie, so it'd probably have to be Human Centipede second sequence.
Oh my God.
All kinds of stuff.
What is wrong with you?
What about that series? Does that count as a franchise? There's only 3 movies?
No.
Okay. It was gotta be 4
it barely counts as a film, Nate.
Fair. All right. Well. Yeah. And next time Lisa's back, we'll have to get her take on horror franchises too, because I think she might have a different take than us as well. That could be an interesting one. Leprechaun is number 1, obviously. I mean, I sandbagged on that one, but other than that,
okay. And the dollar of the dollar bin DVD collections, yeah, I guess you're probably right there. From all of us here at Texas Podcast Massacre, thank you so much for tuning in, and just keep telling yourself it's only a movie. Good night.